Hello friends, I'm Larry with Rides Done Right, and this is the Portland Roadster Show.
This car was already built by Strictly Street Rods. He got wiped out in the four-way stop.
You have the most talented guy in there, but if he's not driving it, the rest of the crew is in the back.
Drives the truck, he drives the car, he flies the plane. Did you get paid 3 times? No.
This show, top 5 in America.
Good day everyone, this is Greg with Rides Done Right, and I have the complete honor here at the Portland Roadster Show to be with John D'Agostino, the Mr. Custom Builder. I think one of the best in the world, absolutely, and it's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you for being at the Portland. Every year, you are like a regular here.
Well, thank you, Greg, for the kind words. I got to thank the council for actually inviting me back every year, and it's probably been 6 or 7 years in a row that I've been doing the Portland Roadster Show. But I really started with them back in the mid '90s with a couple of my cars. So I've been around here about 25 years, and every year I'm excited when I hear Portland Roadster Show and they call me and they say, Johnny, we want you back as a special guest. It really makes my year. I just love being here. I love the cars. I love the people. And Portland ain't Portland without rain, so it's got to rain when it comes here, and I like the rain.
It does rain. But talk about a special guest with a show with you here, but you always bring, you have one of the most special cars here at the whole show. This is a huge car for history, automobile history here. Tell us about this.
Well, first off, when I was 9 years old, I saw this car in one of the magazines, Hop Up, from the early 50s. My dad had a copy of it. Then I saw it come out in 1959 magazine on the cover also, and it was this car that's right behind me, but it was the original Barris-built Hirohata Merc. This is a recreation that was actually built in 1985 by a guy named Jack Walker, a very famous custom person from the Midwest, from actually built in Missouri. When I saw this car back when I was young, I always wanted to have a car like this, or have a car built something like this. This is one of my favorite cars of all time, the Hirohata Mercury. When I had the opportunity, after seeing this car for years and years, Jack used to bring it to all the shows in the ISCA, all the shows around America, probably 300 or 400 different car shows this car's been in since 1985. I approached him last July at the KKOA show in Salina, Kansas. When I saw the car there again, I said, Jack, I want this car. He said, Johnny, I can't, this is my landmark car. I can't sell it. I said, Jack, I want the car. So I said, think about it. So we talked a little bit, and he said, I'll let you know. First off, the car debuted on July 4th, 1985 at the Lead Sled Spectacular in Springfield, Missouri. That was the debut for this car. It was probably the biggest sensation in custom history, modern custom history, when this car was built. Everybody talked about the Hirohata recreation, because the real one was in Los Angeles area, but it was stored away in a garage, and the owner I know very well, and it was unrestored. He didn't want to restore it for several years, and he didn't actually restore the car until 2011. So when Jack actually built this recreation Hirohata in 1985, it sort of took a little thunder away from the original, even though the original is the big money one, and it's the real Barris car, and I always say that is the king of customs. But this car was exposed so much from 1985 until now that it hit so many shows around the United States that Jack Walker said, after a few months, he got a hold of me. He said, Johnny, I'll sell it to you on one condition. It's not only the money, but you got to tell me, you got to expose this car around the world for me.
Oh.
He says, it's been every place in America, damn near every place, except Portland Roadster Show. So I thought about it, and when we were talking, I says, has the car ever been to Portland? He says, you know what? It hasn't. I said, you know what? Give me a few weeks. Let me see what I can do about the finances, the whole bit. So I brought a partner in on the car from Seattle, Washington. I says, Woodrow, what do you want to do? First off, I try to buy the original. He wants way too much money, way into the millions of dollars. Couldn't afford that. Secondly, we were going to build one, the third Hirohata. Do the same car that we're looking at right here, the one I bought from Jack Walker, except we're going to do the colors are going to be pearlized. Same tones exactly, but pearl seafoam green. The pearl bottom, the pearl interior, but it would look like the same car except pearl. been a great deal. It would have been good, but this car is much more memorable. This, I even told Woodrow, there's no way, even if I do it and even it comes out even prettier looking paint-wise, we'll never get the coverage as we got that this car's got. This car has got so much coverage. You could put all my cars together, all my beautiful show cars, this car will still be on top, be number one. So I said, we need to buy this car. Okay. So Jack Walker told me, he said, Johnny, I will sell it to you on one condition. You showed out of the country with your name on it and all that, and take care of this car till the end of time, I'll sell it to you. Right. 2 weeks later, me and Woodrow drive with the undisclosed amount of money, we buy the car. So I bought the car August 21st, 2016. In Belton, Missouri. In Missouri.
Well, only about 5 months.
About 6 months ago.
So let's talk about the car. Let's kind of tell us about all the different changes and some of the ones that are landmark, signature looks about the car. Let's talk about those.
Well, first off, you got to remember it's a Barris creation. It's not a D'Agostino creation.
Right.
So I gotta take my hat off to George Barris for creating something that was so trend-setting back then, because you got to remember this was a new car. When Bob Hirohata brought the 51 Merc to George Barris in 1951, it was brand new. He told George, I want a custom car built out of this new car. So George right away got together with his brother Sam. They talked about it, got his team of people together, and the first thing they wanted to do was that top treatment. They wanted the top treatment to be totally different, especially the B pillar.
Yeah.
They wanted to get rid of the standard B pillar and go into the chromed curve, which was very trend-setting.
Yeah.
They did on one car, the 1940 Merc, the Matranga Merc. Actually in 1949 when they built it. That was the first car with the curved window treatment that you see here.
Okay.
They did this, the second car they did was the Hirohata. Okay, why the Hirohata is much more famous than the Matranga? Because the Matranga was short-lived. It only lasted a year and a half, and the car, he went in the Army, Nick Matranga, and I guess the car was resold, and then it got totaled out. Oh. So the car only lived for a year and a half, where this car lived for several years.
Okay.
And Bob Hirohata, who owned the original one, done a cross-country tour. They put a brand new 1952 Cadillac engine in it, in a 51 Merc.
Okay.
Barris did all his custom body work,
Yeah.
the top treatment like I told you with the curved windows,
Right.
the beautiful, beautiful fadeaways on the car,
Yeah.
the quarter panels with the scoops on the bottom,
Okay.
the custom grille, the custom headlights, the custom hood. I mean, if you got to really look at this car close, there's a lot of beautiful custom touches to it. And it's so trend-setting. And then the colors are so right. The seafoam green with the darker forest green bottom.
Yeah.
That was the original color of the car.
Yeah.
Actually, when they painted it, when Barris first painted it.
Okay.
And then for several years it was that color. After done a few movies, then they changed the color to more of a lime gold.
Oh.
Totally different. The second paint job.
Yeah.
But this is the one that really.
The original.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And all I could say is, this is the car that inspired me when I was 9 years old. And for me to actually own part of the car with my partner and have an opportunity to tour the car around the world, I mean, I have tears in my eyes. I just can't believe it. Thanks to George Barris for creating a car that will last and live forever.
Yeah.
So like I said, this is a recreation. The original one is in Los Angeles, owned by a fellow in Los Angeles there, that toured, actually made one tour out of the country. We took it in 2011 with George Barris and Winfield and Starbird and myself. We did a show in Sweden, Custom Motor Show.
Yeah.
And Jim took the original Hirohata Merc.
Oh,
First time ever out of the country, and
Wow.
probably the last time out of the country. And he ended up winning everything with the car. He took People's Choice, Ladies' Choice, Best of Show. I mean, the car was a complete hit. And now the car is the original Hirohata is on display at the Peterson Museum in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to see the original, it's on display.
Yeah,
So
nice.
the recreation is the last show is right here.
Well, in the U.S.
The last indoor car show for the Hirohata recreation, the one behind me, is the Portland Roadster Show.
And then
Right after that, we're probably going to end up doing something a little special before it goes overseas.
So this is gonna go overseas, and it's gonna tour all around Europe.
Europe, Asia, this car, I would put it this way, and I hope I could say this in 10 years. I want it back at the Portland Roadster Show in 2027. How's that?
10 years.
Okay, 10 years. I want it back
I'll
in
be
Portland.
Here. I'll be here, and I'll be looking for it.
Just remember, 2027. Hopefully, in that other time, the car's gonna be shipped, like I said, overseas to do a lot of different shows
That's
in
10
different
years.
different
That's
countries.
a lot of shows. Okay.
Yep.
So is Europe? I know certain areas of Europe are real, into hot rods and customs and stuff. That you've been over there, right? You've toured, yeah.
I've been to Europe. I think this is my 302nd car show that I start next week. I go to Budapest, Hungary to do another, and that's my 302nd car show in Europe, and that's since 1995. So I've been going there,
So
15, 16 times a year.
all through Europe, right?
Oh, there is, but mostly in Scandinavia.
Scandinavia,
Yeah, Sweden, Finland, Norway's doing good, but mostly Sweden and Finland. They control more customs, American custom cars, and American classics.
Yeah.
But now Germany is somewhat, but little by little, Germany is starting to bump up pretty good. And then there's France is doing good. The Netherlands, customs in the Netherlands, or American cars in the Netherlands is really great. But I'm just trying to go to different countries and keep the sport going.
There you go.
If you love your styling cars, your imports, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you still have to have an American car, an American custom car. So I'm trying to get the young generation to not only do their styling type cars, but in their collection, I like them to actually build a nice, beautiful custom car, like a Hirohata type look, the Mercuries, or a custom Cadillac.
Zephyrs
are cool. Oh yeah, yeah.
So what about Asia? Asia is, you said you're going to take it there too,
Yes,
Asia? So it seems like a whole different culture there.
Definitely. There's a show there called the Yokohama Rod and Custom Show. They're in their 26th year. 2 years ago, I brought my Riviera there, the Pantheon. It was a special guest of the show there with the car. And I'm telling you, for a one-day show, unbelievable show. I'll put that show the top 20 car shows in the world to actually attend.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm going to be back this year. I'm doing a show in Germany, in Essen, and the following weekend I go straight to Yokohama. So I'm going to possibly try to get this car to be in Yokohama the first week of December.
Nice.
So after a bunch of shows in Europe, 5 or 6 shows, we'll end up in Yokohama.
Okay.
So
so with a display like this, you take this everywhere you go. But you're kind of, not only your signature is not only these customs, it's rock salt. You always use rock salt. And I came over the other day and you were meticulously making sure every rock salt was in the right spot. And you had this line. Tell us how you came up with it. I mean,
well, basically, a friend of mine, Richard Zoki, he just passed away about 6 months ago. He's the guy that I really looked up to when it comes to custom cars, and he had a lot of cars done by actually Gene Winfield at the time, and he was involved in all the old legends and all that. He used to use actually tin foil, and he used to use a little white salt rock for a display. I mean, it's cheap but effective.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at it and your eyes go right to it because of the white with the tin foil to crinkle it up.
Yeah.
So on my first car show in 1967 in my area, I had a 56 Chevy. I ended up buying 4 bags of salt rock, and then putting a little border around the car, like a frame.
Yeah.
And ever since then, we're talking 1967, so we're talking 50 years ago, I start using salt rock. But now I usually use a ton of salt rock. Now, this is not a ton of salt rock, this show. But Grand National Show Sacramento, I usually buy a ton of salt rock. And
Literally
I drape it a ton.
Yeah,
and
wow.
I drape it around the car. And I give it a little bit of action. And salt rock, like I said, I've been 50 years with salt rock. So this marks our 50th year.
So do you own stock in salt rock?
I should. One year I ended up having 2 cars at the Grand National. I had Home Depot deliver a whole pallet right to the car. I had a car right across, another car here, a pallet in between. So one car got a ton or more, and the other car got the other ton.
So if we ever run out of ice cream because they couldn't make it because they didn't have salt rock, we know who to blame, right?
I'll make sure. I'll make sure you'll get your dude.
I get my ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're here at the Portland Roadster Show, and you're going to take it overseas. You're going to take it all over the place, but you've got a special place that you're going to go to next. And I think we want to talk to about the location. And here we have Penny Pichette, the queen of custom.
Nice to see you, Penny.
You too.
The queen of customs. And so you're gonna have you're going to have a show, and this is going to be in the show.
Yes, I know. That's pretty exciting. I'm thrilled because this car has so much history, and it's such a beautiful Merc. It's like the most famous.
And what's the show, and where's it at?
The show's in Santa Maria, California, and it's Memorial Weekend.
So just in a few weeks here. It's basically
Couple months away.
Months away.
All right, this will be our 36th year.
36th year.
36. I didn't think I'd live that long. Never mind.
You have a lot of years. You're in good shape. So, tell us about more about the show. What's going to be there?
Well, we have bands there. We have this awesome pinstriping panel jam. We have a great auction. All the proceeds go to Alzheimer's research.
Nice.
And last year we had over 950 cars. We've got 2 buildings filled with vendors and just wonderful people.
And is there a special focus on a particular car, like type of car, like customs or anything?
Oh, I treat everybody the same.
Yeah,
it
right.
doesn't matter.
She'll let you know if you get out of line.
Even us street rod guys are okay?
Well, it depends on you guys.
Right.
Okay?
But she prefers customs, but still, she lets some hot rods in and street
No,
rods.
We do have different. We have, even stock 5, 6, 7 Chevys.
Right.
But
so what's your breakdown? Your breakdown is 1960.
Well, we've kind of gone up to 66 as long as it's not a muscle car. That's where I draw the line.
Right.
Yeah.
Muscle cars, that's it.
Right. That's
Yeah,
that makes sense.
because it's not a muscle car
It's a
show.
whole different era of car. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To me, it's when it comes to custom car shows or custom car events, outdoor events, without a doubt, on the West Coast, it is the best custom car show on the
Thank
West
you,
Coast.
John.
Yeah.
I've always felt that way, but
I
thank
love
you,
it.
John.
No, I really do. I've only missed one in 36 years,
Oh, wow.
and I don't plan to miss any more. So I just every Memorial Day, I just love to be at that West Coast Customs Cruisin Nationals, and I love to see Penny. I love to see her because if I get out of line, she'll let me know, and usually most people don't, but she does. I love her for that.
Well, thank you so much for being here. It's been great to talk to you. I'm excited to hear more about your shows, and good luck with your worldwide tour of the car. That's got to be very exciting.
Well,
Such an honor to meet both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg. It's like I said, it's a great honor to be here at Portland Roadster Show in its last indoor car show, but I'm looking forward to the last outdoor car show, West Coast Custom Cruisin Nationals. After that, the car will be going to Estonia in July. So that's it.
And where's Estonia?
That's right, Estonia.
Where is Estonia?
It borders Russia.
Okay.
Right on the border.
Not everybody was good in geography.
American Beauty Car Show, it's called. I've been there 4 times. I love it. So, next, like I said, Portland Roadster Show, Santa Maria, and I'll see you in Estonia in July.
Okay, cool.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next
See ya.
time.
See ya.